Hi, everyone. Welcome to Legally Yours. Well, I am sitting down with one of my favourite people in the legal industry. Her name is Nicole Davidson. She's from Nicole Davidson Negotiation. And I'm really excited about this because Nicole is launching a new product. It's called Negotiation GP. And in this video, I want to hear a little bit about Nicole's story again, although secret, I know all about it, but I want you to all know it, those people watching, about why Negotiation GP, how it works, and how you can use it. So, Nicole, thank you for sitting down with me.
Oh, it is always a pleasure, Karen. I always love our chats.
I love our chats too. All right. So, for those who may be living under a rock and don't know who you are, let's dial it back a bit. So, tell me a little bit about Nicole Davidson Negotiation. Why are you so passionate about negotiation and mediation?
Yeah, look, I think my passion for those spaces comes from firstly having been a lawyer, but also having been a client of lawyers when I was an insolvency practitioner and probably to a lesser extent as an investment banker. And particularly finding around the dispute side of things that the legal solutions often were a little bit painful. Um, I remember getting advices from clients that from lawyers that I could barely read, and I was a lawyer. And just the cost and the time and the stress involved in litigation as a way of resolving business disputes just didn't seem efficient to me. And so that's where, once I came across negotiation, which was about 10 years ago, I realized how much power there was in negotiation to try and do things better and differently. And unfortunately, most lawyers aren't specifically trained in how to negotiate. So there's real room for giving clients a better experience of the legal system.
I love it. And it's a real skill set. It's actually a real learning. I mean, I think people kind of go, oh, negotiation, I negotiate with my kids on how to get them to school, or, I'm negotiating things in my everyday life. But what you actually teach, it's a framework. It's a real learning. There's a real skill to it, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. I mean, some people either think they already do it well, or they think that they aren't a born negotiator and they can't become a better negotiator. But
Yes.
there's definitely structures and systems that you can put in place. Negotiation is sort of an art and a science.
Yeah.
And the science will take you a long way. And then you can perfect the art as you go.
I love it. And obviously, you have perfected that art and that science through all the training that I know that you have done over the last 10 years, which is wonderful. So that kind of leads me to, so Negotiation GP, tell us, what is the story behind it and why are you launching this service?
Yeah, so I came across the service because I was talking to people regularly who were getting very stuck in situations. And some of those situations might have been disputes, some might have been trying to get deals done, sort of the more front end negotiations. So they got to a point where they went, it's just not working. I've tried everything that's in my toolbox and I'm not getting the outcome that I want. And when I was sitting down having a chat with people and put a bit of structure around the conversation, it was able to move them forward. So they stopped being stuck and they knew what the next step was. And I realized that, if these are the small number of people that I was talking to at the time, there's definitely scope out there to help a lot more people by offering that person who can be the strategic negotiation sounding board.
Yeah. And I think that's the real skill in this, the real benefit in this is that you are impartial. You are perhaps, removing some of that emotion. Even lawyers who perhaps might be calling and using the negotiation GP service to kind of understand, that negotiation skill set on behalf of their clients, there is that still emotion involved sometimes in those situations, whereas you can actually get them to take that step back and really consider things from both sides. And so that's part of what the service is, isn't it? It's that pick up the phone, call the negotiation GP, which is you, and get that advice there. Is that right?
Absolutely. And you mentioned the emotion, and it is sometimes, particularly when I'm speaking to the individuals themselves who are in conflict or have that deal, their emotions are stopping them from seeing things. But even when I'm talking to people who might be one step removed, such as lawyers, they've got their own cognitive biases, which are impacting on their thought process. And it might just be, the most common one we see with lawyers is what we call the fundamental attribution error, which might mean everything that comes from the other side's mouth, we're subconsciously discounting, or it might be that we're subconsciously only picking up on the parts of the argument that support us, and the things that actually are negative, we're subconsciously discounting. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the human mind that the minute you're connected to that negotiation directly, you get a little bit sidetracked by it. So I can help neutralize some of those biases.
God, what a secret weapon. As you were saying that, I'm thinking you could be a lawyer's secret weapon in relation to that, being able to have that kind of ability to go, right, I'm just going to run it past. What else? What could I be missing? How could I maybe shake this up and do it differently and get that great result for the client? I love it. So yeah, part of that is that process. And I think the other thing, what I love about what you've designed is it's not locked in. It's not big and lots amount of times of a process that you have to go in. It is literally, you can pick up and you can have that conversation and you can get that lovely kind of view and advice and move on. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've designed it, and I guess I've designed it alongside the name. It's a bit like if I've got a cough that hasn't gone away, and that may be a case. If I've got a lingering something and I'm just not sure what to do, I just go and make an appointment with the GP. I have that discussion. That might be all I need to do. They give me a script to go away and take some medicine. I do that and I'm fixed. Yeah. Or there might be times where the client comes in and we have that consultation and we go, actually, this is something more serious, and there might be some further steps that are required. But I think the majority of people just need that little bit of a push in the right direction. And I think the other beauty of that service is by having that conversation and not just getting the direction of where to go, but understanding why to go there, you're actually learning something and improving your negotiation skills for future conflicts.
Oh, love it. Just absolutely love what you've designed. So how can people access the service?
Yeah, so the service can be accessed at the moment directly through my website. So it's nicoledavidsonnegotiation.com.au. There's a page on there where you can make a booking. I am going to be streamlining that and changing things as we go, but that's the process for the moment.
I love it. And I'll make sure those links get popped on there so people can really access it nice and easily and find out all about it. Well, Nicole, I absolutely love it. I already know that it's won some awards at a pitch night, so I know that you've got something that's really very exciting. And it's been great learning more a bit about your story and the why behind it as well, so people can understand the incredible service that you've created. So thank you so much for sitting down with me, and thank you everyone for watching.